going on, people? So, bit of a different episode. I'm just about to pick up some food, actually. I've had a long day filming session, very, very productive. And so much has happened over literally the last week. It's been crazy. We've had the 5th year anniversary at Falcon and just so many things to look forward to. I stole a Roxanne's car, so I'm in the Mini Cooper S, full electric, British Racing Green. This is so nice, by the way. So as I thought I'd just take this for a little bit of a drive. It's like a little go-kart. So really nice spec as well, considering this is just like a daily driver. But what I thought I'd do is share a message that I think is so important for any traders, entrepreneurs right now need to understand this, because I was kind of reflecting on the fact that we had the 5th year anniversary of Falcon the other night. We spoke about the roadmap moving forward, some big goals. Last year, I started to scale back some businesses that would have taken up way too much of my time and priority. And I just wanted to go full steam ahead on just a few things that I know is going to make a big impact on the world. And that was kind of my focus. And I started reflecting on, why do traders succeed? Why do they fail? Why do entrepreneurs succeed and why do they fail? For example, most businesses go bust in a year. You know, Falcon as a project has been around for 5 years and we're literally just getting started for what's in store. And it kind of got me thinking about books. I've mentioned on this channel a few times about books, so hopefully not too many people triggered from the thumbnail. However, let me explain. I'm in a car right now. Most people will read a book and then they'll read the next book and then the next book and then the next one, and they wonder why they don't progress in their life. It's a little bit like this, right? And I think this tends to happen in the personal development world. So this is what I mean. I'm sure you've all read a book in personal development, which are great, right? I do not condone not reading, by the way. I love reading. It's the whole concept about application and the same thing. So you have personal development. As you can imagine, a lot of books, they spill over. It's getting a bit steamy in here, actually. So a lot of books, they spill over. So what I mean by that, you could read something about procrastination and then you'd find something similar, just kind of worded in a different way in another book, and a few other bits of value as well. However, it's personal development. So then you kind of get hooked on this addiction of reading a book, reading another book, reading another bit of personal growth. It would be exactly like reading a book on how to drive a car, and instead of then going to drive the car, just reading another book on how to drive a car, and then reading another book on how to drive a car. You're never actually going to progress until you start taking action. And I see that a lot in this space, that people are searching for this dopamine hit of read this book, then tick off another book, then read another book. You're not actually taking a step back, taking inventory of what you've learned, and then actually thought to apply it. This was really, to be completely honest, just a common sense approach that I applied many years ago as to, well, I've just read this book, I've learned a lot of important things. How does that relate to my current circumstance, and how can I apply that in my life? That for me was just a really simple brainwave. And I see in this space right now, trading, entrepreneurship as a whole, people get hooked on things that just make them feel good. And we have to start having a conversation about doing what moves the needle and not what just makes you feel good. What makes you feel good isn't always going to get you the results. If anything, it creates a bad habit of you just wanting to feel good. So then you search for anything that doesn't really tangibly move you forward. But as long as it makes you feel good, then you feel like you're progressing. But really, you're just stagnating. You're not moving forward. We have to start talking about what makes the difference, and that's always going to be the uncomfortable things. So what I want you to take from this is simple. The next time you read a book, well, let me ask you a question. Name the last 10 books you've read. And I can guarantee if we've got 100 people here or 1,000 people and ask them the last 3 books or 10 books you've read, talk to me about that book. I'll just pick a random book. Talk to me about the book. Give me even 10% of it. I highly doubt those people know anything about the book, because when you go from one book to another, you forget. You don't remember the chapters. You're not unconsciously competent on the knowledge that you read a year ago. So why are you doing it? Are you doing it for leisure? Well, that's a different thing. If you're just reading because you enjoy reading, all the power to you. But most of the people in the entrepreneurial space, you're reading because you're trying to gain a bit of knowledge, of wisdom from someone who's further along in the journey than you, so you can then apply that. Yet we tend to lose that thought when we read and think, well, I'll just get the other book. I'll just get the other book, because that's the easiest thing to feel like we're progressing. People do the same thing on podcasts. They get hooked on so many things and they fail to realize that the real growth is actually taking action. Do the thing. So that's what I want you to think about. The next time you read a book, or whatever book you're reading right now, once you finish that book, just stop for a month. Challenge yourself for 30 days and ask yourself, of all the things that you've learned, all the things you've dissected, either read it again, read over the chapters that you enjoyed, read over the chapters that you resonated with, that kind of maybe gave you those aha moments, and just think about how can you apply it in your life, and how would that actually make a difference towards the goal that you're aiming to achieve. So for example, if you're a business entrepreneur and you're aiming to have a successful business and you've read a book that relates to something of business, what are you then going to do after reading that book that applies to that? Or are you just going to get hooked on another book? So guys, stop reading book after book after book, because it's a common pattern that I see, not just in entrepreneurship, it's very, very high in the trading space, of being obsessed with knowledge. Now remember this, your desire to change needs to be stronger than your desire to learn. Everybody can learn, remember that. It's easy to read, it's easy to take a course, it's easy to sit for a seminar, it's very easy to do that. It's difficult to actually look at yourself and ask those deeper questions, ask those really tough questions. Are you that person right now? Do you have the attributes? Do you have the traits that warrant you being successful in that field? And if the answer is no, what do you now need to change? What skills do you need to learn? What do you need to do or take action on today, now, that's going to help move the needle in the direction? That's it. And when you start thinking like that, instead of just procrastinating, instead of doing the kind of nice, easy, fancy things that make you feel good in the moment, and I get it, they all play a part, you start doing the hard things. You start doing the bigger, important things that will actually make a difference to help you progress. And I can promise you this, when you start developing this mentality, you will move forward in life. This is exactly what I've done for years in all areas of my life, and each time it's helped me move forward. This was more of an instinct that I developed over the years, that what is the point in learning if it's not applied? You just become a knowledge bank, that's it. And then you know a lot about a lot of things, but you don't know how to apply it. That's the message I want you to take from this episode, because reflecting on the last 5 years, one of the most important things that has enabled us to move towards having £100 million fund, which is in full motion, in the works, for lots of traders to be able to benefit from, has not done because we've read about things. It is taking action. It is going to the Middle East. It is actually doing things, meeting people, having hours, hundreds of hours of calls with lawyers, etc., infrastructure, you name it. That takes action, not just reading about things. And if you can apply that more into your kind of entrepreneur vision and your trading vision, or whatever goals that ambitions that you have, you will progress so much more faster in life, and you'll be happier that you are now a person of taking action. Become a person of taking action, and when you do that, your life will change for the better. So, bit of a nighttime rant with me on the channel. And like I said, you're going to have more from this channel on a weekly basis. I'm going to keep posting and just sharing bits of value that I personally believe that will add value to your life, things that are practical, like this, for example. I'm giving you something practical to take away from the episode. That's what I'm about. I do things practically. None of this kind of wishy-washy stuff, just very simple. Those that know me, very simple stuff that they're not always the fancy things, but they actually make the difference. And at the end of the day, you want to get results, and that's what it's about. And that's helped me in my life. So hopefully you take value from that, guys. But yeah, really impressed with this car, by the way, to just kind of wrap this up. Really nippy, really fast. And for a daily driver to just nip around, you want to go to the shops or the gym, etc., it's this is super fun. So yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. I've still got a long night ahead of me, so I'm just going to grab some food, head back to the office, get back to the lab, and just keep it moving forward, guys. We've got some massive goals to hit. Enjoy the rest of your day. Catch you real soon.